So when we're on the ship and we're in some sort of space battle, literally is somebody yelling, 3, 2, 1, hit, and then we just do this. I went to school for piano and theater, and never did I have to practice this.
Let's get a big Farpoint round of applause. Welcome to the stage, Jay Lee from that great show. Oh, I hear him coming. I know he's coming from somewhere. Uh-oh, and hello, there he is.
Hello? Oh.
It's on, hooray.
Hi, teammates. Hello. How you guys doing? What do y'all, hi.
We do have a microphone in the center aisle. If anyone has questions, they'd like to stand up and.
Yep, it's right there in the center. I see it. I see it. It's right there. You see it? That's right there.
I think he found it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Microphone, right here.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Hey, look at us on microphones.
We got a microphone.
Ah.
This is a high-tech operation. Hey, Jay.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Does yours have a little orange sort of sherbet condom on yours, or is this just mine?
I think you're the lucky one.
Yeah. Protection, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the episode in first season. That was where you did the thing where you were standing on the statue and you didn't realize you'd done. That was really such a great episode. And the other thing that saved you was a picture with a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, really was one of my favorite episodes.
People like dogs. The dog saved me.
Yes, well, dogs are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like a dog?
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, that was one of my favorite episodes.
Thank
you.
you.
You know, I really loved the Orville. It was,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it really was one of my favorite shows, and I wish it was coming back for a fourth season.
I think we are.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen. Don't believe everything. My mom used to say, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see, or something like, what is it? Half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll be back in space sooner than people would think.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Jay. Hey, thank you for coming to Farpoint today. Hey, my question is, from when the show started to when it ended, we saw a lot of change in the character arc of John Lamarr. First he went from being on the helm to being on an engineer.
Right.
If you could have written any plot for John Lamarr or to do anything in the show, what would it have been? Where would you have liked to see his character gone that it didn't go?
In the past or moving forward?
In the past or moving forward,
Well, I think about this sometimes, right? John was already on the ship when Ed got there.
Right.
Right? And he was navigator.
Yeah.
And he was cool with his position. He was fine, just doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Then they found out he was really smart, and then he became chief engineer. So I don't think his trajectory would stop there.
Right.
So, I would assume that maybe a captain seat would make sense for John at some point.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, I totally agree.
Listen, but I'm, running around the ship, having sex with spiky aliens, figuring out time travel, figuring out how to make Isaac human. I guess I could run a ship. Yeah, but I think either that or him never hump that statue. Yeah. By the way, I didn't know John's character was that smart until after, and I told Seth, I was like, maybe you could have told me that 6 episodes ago. I'm probably not going to a planet dry humping statues. But it was fun. It felt horrible, by the way, for all you statue humpers out there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anybody tried to? Yeah, you right there. You look like you humped a couple. It didn't work out. Let me be the first to tell you. By the way, shout out statues, huh? Let's give it up for statues. All right. I either want this to be the weirdest panel or the best panel. I'm gonna go for weird. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna clap for everybody that comes up. What's up, my man?
Can't complain. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Jay. watching the show, we didn't know what we were going to get. And first couple episodes, it was like leaning towards Family Guy, live action. But later on, the show became very, very serious, dealt with some really, really great social issues. Was that intentional? Was it planned that way in an arc, or was it organic and it just grew as the show came on?
That was Seth's intention from jump. Yeah, I think Seth is he's a huge sci-fi Star Trek fan.
Yes.
And I think out of all the things he's done, going to space was the thing he really wanted to do the most. But like, if you ask somebody out on a date, you put the foot forward that they think they like. So everybody knows Seth is like Family Guy and comedy. So I think he sold the show being like, ha ha ha. But really, I like long walks on the beach and green gelatinous blobs and sci-fi. So I think he always intended for season 3 to be the vibe of the show. Yeah, so we got there. We just had to get out the gate.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? I'm just curious, we see the final cut, we see what the camera wants, all the trickery of Hollywood.
Yeah.
You don't, you're looking at the camera when you talk. Do you ever see the final version of the show? Do you see what we see? Do you see the illusion, or are you always seeing it outside of the box?
That's a good question. Yes and no. So on one hand, definitely not. So when we're on the ship and we're in some sort of space battle, literally is somebody yelling, 3, 2, 1, hit, and then we just do this. I went to school for piano and theater, and never did I have to practice this. But that's a lot of the day. Or it's a lot of just punching buttons and looking out into nothing. There was one day, this was during the pandemic, we were shooting. Schedules got all messed up. And we hadn't read all the episodes yet. So they said, Jay, can you come in and shoot? Because otherwise we're gonna lose a day. And it's a lot of money. So I said, sure. So I come in, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what episode we're shooting. We shot like 3 episodes, and me and engineering, just standing at a panel in red lights blinking, and I'm just like saying shit like, I hope this works. It's coming. Red alert. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And then I watched the episode, I'm like, oh, that's what that was about. Oh, that was we were going to save Scotty. I had no idea, But, so no and yes. But then also, you get used to sort of how the show works. As a filmmaker, I'm a director as well, you kind of start to piece together, oh, this is going to connect to that. We need this for that. So, but it's fun not knowing, and then you see it at the end, and you go, wow, this was actually pretty cool. I'm actually on a pretty cool show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, this is a true story. And don't forget your question.
Don't worry.
Please. So many of you may know, but I used to work as the receptionist at Family Guy. And I was like 24, and I was a horrible receptionist. Terrible. I was great to have at the front desk, though. I was a good person, right? Like, I treated everybody the same. I always had good energy. So one day I had this really stupid idea to clap for everybody that got off the elevator. To put that in perspective, let's say this is the front desk, you come in, the writer's room is right behind me. So all the writers, Seth and Alec and all these like great people are in the writer's room. David Goodman was the showrunner, I think, at the time. It's like 9:30 in the morning. John Doe, artist who nobody ever really talks to, gets off the elevator. And I'm just like, John, we're gonna have a good day, bud. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. And then next thing you know, John comes off, and then Jane Doe comes off the elevator, and now me and John are both clapping. At a certain point, it's like 20 people in the lobby of Family Guy making a shit ton of noise. And then David Goodman, who also, of course, worked on the Orville, he has a very gruffy voice. He comes out and he's like, hey, what the hell? The hell's going on? Stop all this damn noise. And of course, we all clap for David. So anyway, I'm clapping for everybody that comes up to this microphone.
Well, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Good. My question.
There you go. There we go.
My question is, as we all know, that sci-fi covers and transcends certain social issues. My question to you, to pick your brain, out of all the social issues that were touched during the run of the show, which one affected you the most?
Topa. Yeah, Topa's whole story arc and what Peter and Chad as Bortus and Clyden did with that, really, really special. And they definitely should have, not that we do it for awards, but I told Pete, I saw a cut of the episode where I think it was the scene he was talking to Adrian's character, and he just kind of breaks down. Tears. I said, bro, you are doing some really, really special work. And then Clyden, shout out Chad Coleman, what he did with his arc to come back to acceptance and love, I just think that whole story arc was really, really, really powerful and beautiful. Then also, probably Claire and Isaac. I've said this in many interviews, but that scene when Isaac falls in love with Claire, and he says at the end of the episode, I've only made one error, and it was that one period of time where we weren't together. And she says, so you're saying you're better with me than without me? And he says, that is correct. I always loved that line. You know, it was just a really sweet line to come from a sort of AI robot, basically saying, I need you, you know. And then me having sex with a spiky alien, that was cool. You know?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Don't forget, get the blue crabs.
I got it. By the way, that's not a sex joke. That's a regional area food joke recommendation. You grow up, everybody. My man, what's up? What's up, brother?
Hey, Jay. So, Orville has not yet explored a mirror universe style storyline at this point. With an evil version of John, who would be his enemies? Who would be his allies? How would you visualize an evil John?
Sorry, one sec. I'm just making a note for a really cool episode idea I just came up with by myself. Sorry, inspiration hits at the wildest times. What was your question? You said, no, what would it be like to be the bizarro evil version of me?
Right, and who would be his enemies? Who would be his allies?
Ooh.
You know, how would you visualize that?
That's a good question. I think John doesn't have a lot of enemies that I know of. That's a really good question. Maybe everybody that gave him a downvote on Sargus, and he just comes back and he just like kills Melick Giffenden and becomes God. No, I don't know. I gotta think about that. That's a really good question. Who would be his enemies? I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. What do you think? I don't know.
I think as a very intelligent person who apparently hid his intelligence for a while, I think he would probably backstab a lot of people, take out the captain, take over the Orville.
Oh,
you know, he would be a force to be reckoned with, just because he's so normally unassuming. He's underestimated and probably comes up on top.
He reprograms Isaac to do his bidding
as his bodyguard.
Hold on one sec. I gotta.
And maybe gives Isaac some spikes he could have sex with. Oh, sorry, I'm going way too far.
He marries Claire. Beats up. I'm in. Yeah. I'm loving coming to work that day. Now that's really good. I'm gonna think about that.
All right, we look forward to seeing an evil version of you.
Right on. Thank you. You know what? By the way, as we get ready for this next one, John is pretty nice all the time. It would be nice to see him lose it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I have two questions that are kind of related. The first question is, during the strike, what did you do? How did you keep yourself occupied?
I was out there with two signs, because I'm a part of the WGA and I'm a part of SAG.
Okay.
And I worked hard to get in both unions, so I actually had to calm down because I was ready to kick cars and not let anybody on the lot. But I realized these are the people you got to go back to work with, so I said maybe let me not punch an exec in the mouth. But I was ready to, let's disrupt. You know, strikes are meant to disrupt, and they're meant to call attention. So I didn't want to take pictures. I was mad, you know. But I wrote a lot. I always say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And focus on your mission, not your position. So even when things slow down or things seem like they're not working out, that's the time you work harder. So when the strike hit, I just said, okay, I think we prep for the next thing and we get ready for it to end and we hit the ground running. So did that, did a lot of push-ups. Ate a lot of cookies.
Cookies are good. So my question is, if you weren't acting or writing anything in the entertainment field, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be a teacher or like a track coach or a basketball coach. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I have two questions about the music in Orville.
Okay.
To me, the music is beautiful. The Billy Joel, God love the Dolly Parton. But even there's a little scene in the episode, sorry, I don't have the name on my tongue, where the women have to pretend to be in charge because they won't talk to them. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a little trill from The King and I in that as they're walking out of the room that that he has 1,000 dreams. It's so amazing. So my questions are, first, who picks the music? Does the writer suggest it? Does Seth look at it and go,
Seth.
ooh, Seth, all the way?
Those little small but not small things that make the show connect, those are all Seth.
Wow.
Right? And I went to a scoring session for season 1, changed my life. So when you walk in, has anybody ever been or seen a scoring session? I'm sure. No. So what it is we shoot our stuff. We shoot all our scenes or whatever. Goes to post, gets edited. Then Seth uses a live orchestra to literally play the music during the scene. So you can look at the monitor and you'll see a conductor in the other room, 50, 70-piece orchestra, composing the music to a scene when I'm just doing that, right? Then you see that combined with the score, it's really special. But that's all Seth.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all Seth. And me.
And my second half is about Dolly Parton because she's so amazing.
Yes.
And when that song was chosen, when 9 to 5 was chosen, then later on she pops back in. So I was just curious, did you all contact her and say, hey, we'd love to have you in this follow-up, or did she contact you and say, wow, what did you do with my song?
Yeah, well, Dolly comes over at least once a week to my house. We have dinner, and she came over, I cooked, and I was like, Dolly, I got this little show. I'd love for you to be in it. And she was like, I'll only do it for you, Jay Lee. And I said, okay. And then Seth called. He's like, what did she say? I said, I finally got her to say yes. No, I didn't even get to work with her. I was pissed. I shot my scene separately. They shot her in, I think she was in Nashville. But again, all Seth. He loves Dolly, appreciates Dolly, and what a crazy random sort of cameo to put in our show, but it worked out, But yeah, shout out Dolly Parton.
It was really cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm gonna call Dolly and tell her you said hello.
Hi again.
Hi, what's up?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
My dad and I bonded over science fiction for many, many years. We absolutely loved the Orville. And my question is, I especially particularly love the idea of a bromance between John and Lieutenant Malloy. I was wondering, how did you guys I know that Lieutenant Malloy is kind of a jerk at some times, and you just said, "Oh, we're going to get along great." Yeah. Can you tell us if there's going to be a continuation of the bromance if there were to be another episode or another season of the Orville?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's funny. So I've known Scott for almost 20 years in life. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because on the page, John and Gordon aren't actually supposed to be best friends. Gordon and Ed are best friends. But when we started shooting, we just had an energy at the front of the ship that just kind of worked out. Matter of fact, we used to do this thing called, it was very, very annoying, by the way. People hated it, but we made it fun. And then they loved it. But it was called You're at the Helm with John and Gordon. We would shoot very long hours. And when I was at the front of the ship, cameras always start with us first, then it moves back, then it moves back, then it moves to the side, moves to the side. So this whole time, for hours, we're now out of the shot. We've already done our coverage, so we're just at the front. So in between takes, we would just do this very stupid talk show that nobody asked for. And we would just lean on the front of the ship like, you're at the helm with John and Gordon. Here we are, it's 2 a.m. Peter is coughing. We're gonna wait until we get through it. But it was that kind of energy that kind of helped us get through long shoots and bring that energy. But then you find out John's very smart. He goes to engineering, and we lost a little bit of that. But I do miss that. I think when we come back, we might see a little bit more of that. But yeah, that was a cool sort of unexpected thing that kind of came out of that friendship.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
that
you.
was wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah. There it is.
So your early episodes seem to be more of a parody than the homage to Star Trek that the show has become, at least in my mind. And was there any discussion early on of which way you guys wanted to go, or what Seth wanted to do? Or
No, I don't think he ever thought of this as a parody. I think it was, his version of it with a couple of jokes here and there. And also one thing he said in a few interviews was, he wanted it to feel like a workplace comedy. Not comedy, sorry, but just a workplace. And sometimes at work, you have jokes with people. Sometimes there's nothing going on. Sometimes your coworker ate your food and you want to beat the snot out of them, And sometimes you got to fight an alien race, and sometimes you're just late for work. So I think he tried to capture all of that. But no, I don't think it was ever set out to be a parody.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Doesn't it feel good to get clapped for? When was the last time somebody just clapped for you when you walked in a room? My man. Good to see you.
Hey, Jay. Yeah, thanks. So circling back to the music choices that Seth makes. So for a couple episodes in the last season, there was a great number that Scott performed on the acoustic guitar, which I immediately knew was from the movie The Last Unicorn. So was everybody else at the time familiar with that or knew where that came from? Because that was like one of those things that I always thought of Seth and I having like the same sensibilities and liking a lot of the same things. I was like, oh, that's cool. He saw that movie.
That's a very great reference and pickup. Mm-hmm. So Scott and Seth do this thing, and again, it's amazingly annoying. But they'll get together and they will just start humming melodies. And the game is, what's this from? And it starts off with stuff that we might know. Dun, 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 dun. You're like, oh, the Orville. After 3-4 years, it's like the B-side of some random sitcom that had 2 episodes that came out in the 70s that you can't find, and now all of a sudden they'll hum it, and then they're both just like, oh, what's that from? So I always make the joke, no matter what they sing, it could be from Indiana Jones, I'm always like, oh, Menace to Society. I'll just pick the blackest movie that I grew up watching and just, oh, that's definitely from third act of Boys in the Hood, for sure. Yeah, but that's all Seth. Again, he likes what he likes, and it's a very cool thing to watch people do what they want to do. And by the way, we're not all billionaires in here, but I'm going to tell you, do what you want to do. Because I see Seth do it, and it's pretty cool to watch. And I started doing that shit, and it's pretty cool to do. So, if you got an idea, you want to put a song in it, and somebody's like, no, do it anyway.
Yeah. My other thing was comment. You sound pretty confident that the Orville is coming back, because at the time, last I checked, no one was really sure what was going to happen. My feeling was at the end of the season that even though there were some dangling plot threads that were left, like the spider aliens, Ed's daughter, things like that. I know, like, in a perfect world, if we don't live in a perfect world, we don't always get what we want. But the way I saw the way the season ended, I thought if there's no more after this, I'd be happy with that. But you sound pretty confident that you're going to get a fourth season, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
You know, listen, they just unveiled Kobe's statue in L.A., I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And I saw this quote, or something maybe, it was attributed to him, and they was asking him about, if you have a game where you're not shooting very well, do you keep shooting? Mm-hmm. And he says, yeah. He's like, if I miss the 9th one, the 10th one's going in. And if I miss the 10th one, then that means the 11th one's going in. It's all about confidence.
Yeah.
I don't have the checkbook to pay for the show, but I'm pretty confident we're going to do another season. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Boom.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so you mentioned you're also a member of WGA.
Yes.
I was wondering if you've done any contributions on the Orville, if you're involved in that process, even just a little bit, or alternately, do you have any projects you're working on that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, and
excited
yes.
About?
Yeah,
Cool.
so when Seth told me about this project, we were at dinner, and I had sold a show, my own show. It was called Two Black Dudes, and it was about two black dudes. And thought the show was gonna go, still gonna wind up making it, but I remember Seth called, we went to dinner, and he says, hey, I know you're working on your own stuff, but I got this show that I wrote, and, I have you in mind for it. And I was like, I guess. And it was Orville, right? So I say that to say, he said, if you have any ideas, please feel free. So
So the mirror universe is all your idea.
listen, you would not believe what I just came up with 15 minutes ago. It's crazy. No, Seth pretty much handles all of it, but he's very open to any ideas and episode ideas and collabs. So I haven't written an episode or directed an episode yet, but he's very collaborative in that sense. And as far as what I have going on, there's a movie I wrote and I'm going to be directing this year called Jacob Beats Up Nate. I like real simple titles that you get it. And this one, check this out. This one is about a dude named Jacob who beats up Nate. So I don't want people to buy a ticket and get confused on what they're going to see. You know what I mean? But I'm very excited about that. And I'm proud to be in the WGA. It's hard. I think the WGA is like the hardest one to get into. But yeah, so that and some other projects on the slate, staying busy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I've read in your bio that you had an early role early in your career as a Klingon in The Next Generation. So I was wondering if you have any memories of working on that.
No, that was either a typo or somebody else's bio. I wish I was a Klingon.
Oh, okay.
But I'll answer your question. Let's use it as an acting exercise. It was really great to be a Klingon,
Okay.
I was clinging on to stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, you don't deserve
Interesting,
this.
yeah, because it's in the the wiki fandom thing. But
anyway,
sorry
yeah,
if it
don't
was
believe.
wrong.
I looked online. Somebody said I had 75 million. None of that's true.
Okay.
I mean,
thanks.
I do. I have so much money.
Sorry.
No, don't be. Listen, I'm gonna start telling people I was a Klingon. I will say, by the way, and you're gonna get another round of applause. Don't you just try to sneak up here. For some reason on my IMDb page, it says I was on
What? With the stars.
St. Louis?
No, I am from St. Louis. What's the name of that dang on? It's a very big animated cartoon, very funny. Nope. Nope.
Naruto.
Nope. After Simpsons, we're gonna find it as a team. Nope. After Family Guy. Nope. After that.
Cleveland?
Nope. Nope, but I feel like it's two names.
South Park?
Nope.
Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty.
Morty.
Rick and Morty. I didn't work on Rick and Morty. Anyway, thank you.
Sorry, thanks.
There was a question earlier about Scott Grimes and the love theme from The Last Unicorn. Well, he sang it on 2 different episodes of the show. Is that the only song he knows? I think because sounds great, plays guitar, carries on, but in 2 different episodes he sings the same song from the obscure movie.
Listen,
I remember it's the first time my daughter wouldn't let me go to the movies with her to see The Last Unicorn stuff.
Seth likes his voice, I guess. He's just like running back. Yeah, but again, I always pitch songs that I know will never get in the show, like Candy Rain, or like Luther Vandross. I'd like to see Scott sing some T-Pain, just for fun. By the way, I want to shout out my friend Fran/Cookie over here. Can we just all applaud for my dear friend Fran right there? She's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you come with more episode ideas that I can make up on my own?
Actually, kind of an idea.
Oh.
So if you and Scott Grimes were to form a band, what would it be called? And what would your first album be called?
John Lamarr and the Shut Ups. And the first song would be, I'm just playing This Is Gordon. And then he'd sing 10 records, and I'll just do one ad lib or some random story for track number 11. Yeah, I'm going with that answer.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Right on. You didn't even have to do anything. Look at this.
Yeah,
But it's listen. Can we just clap for Rent?
And actually, I have a question.
Oh, look, I'm up there too.
That's right. Yeah. 2 J's, price of 1.
Y'all got to deal with me on. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Y'all don't deserve this.
Jay, I know you have the background in music and piano, and I know Seth loves to sing. Do the two of you ever, hang out and jam?
Yeah, all the time. Man, Seth has so much time on his hands. He calls me up sometimes 4 a.m. He's like, Jay, man, I haven't done anything for 3 straight weeks. Man, you want to come over and play? And I'm like, Seth, I'm on the phone with Dolly. I'm writing these songs for Scott and I. We're doing this crazy album. Also write this really crazy idea for an episode where it's like this mirror episode. He just will not stop calling me to jam. It's pretty annoying, actually. I'm like, Seth, get a job. No, we don't. We don't. I would, though. But I did, before I did my last concert, I did a run-through at his house. He has a very beautiful house. I could have done it in mine, but I was like, let me see what it's like to play in a smaller house, just for fun. So I went to his big house and played on his really expensive piano. It was very nice. Yeah.
That's good. I think we got another one.
Speaking of episodes, let's go to the Cleveland show. What was the favorite one because you wrote quite a few for that?
Oh, Cleveland show was so I got on Cleveland show starting season 3, and I did season 3 and 4. It was my first time writing for a TV show, and that was a very crazy writer's room because I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of comedic writers are maniacs, and they're not very happy, and a lot of the pain sparks ideas. So most of the stuff I couldn't even relay. The other thing that would happen is with Family Guy, American Dad, and Cleveland, it's so outrageous that they would put stuff that they know is going to get cut just to make FCC cut some stuff. So you put in jokes that you know are definitely going to get you thrown off the air. But then they cut those and you go, oh, well, we can keep this really, really bad joke in. Favorite episode or things I worked. There was an episode where Rollo, this was about my life. Rollo goes back to, he lives with his mom in Cleveland, but he spends the weekend with his dad, and he thinks he's really cool, and then he goes to the city, and he realizes he's a fish out of water, and he's scared to leave the house. And then he meets some kids who, they plot to rob show and tell at kindergarten. And that didn't happen in real life. I just pitched it as an episode. Yeah.
So light stuff. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, real light, easy stuff. Nothing crazy. Yeah. You guys want me? What do y'all want to talk? What else is going on in life? But what about traffic? You guys ever been in traffic?
Who do you like for the Super Bowl?
I was pulling for y'all Ravens, but
yeah.
Hey, shout out! Y'all had a good season. I'm pulling for the St. Louis Rams when they go back to St. Louis at a certain point. That's what I'm pulling for. Yeah, I will watch the Super Bowl. That's tomorrow, right?
It is.
Whose hotel are we watching it in? Somebody's about to get kicked out of this hotel because they're going to do something they shouldn't. And her right there. She's on her laptop, inviting her friends, bringing all the stuff. I know, that's what I'm going to be, eating popcorn. Are you guys watching the Super Bowl?
No, we're science fiction fans watching a repeat of the Orville.
Hi.
Hi. What types of books do you like to read, and who are your favorite authors?
It's a good question.
What are you reading now?
I range from I used to read Stephen King a lot. To a point, so I would be in high school, I was in the band, and I played baritone horn. And I was a musician, so it was relatively easy for me. So I was kind of bored, and I would read these Stephen King books. And I would read during band rehearsal. So now all John Philip Sousa music is fucking terrifying to me. So whenever I read or I hear any sort of big band or just music like that, I'm just like very terrified. But I read Stephen King and then a lot of like philosophy books. I'm rereading The Alchemist again and Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Real fun, light stuff. And then comics. I'm a big comic dude, When Orville made their comics, I went to my comic store and that was a crazy moment for me to see myself on a comic. Because I used to grow up, every Tuesday I would go get new comic books. And then to see myself on a comic, that tripped me out. And the dudes that own the comic book shop I go to, they were surprised I came in to buy it. And I was like, no, I'm buying. Yes, this is a big deal for me. And then Instagram, reading a lot of that nonsense. Read a lot of Twitter. Real stupid. Then I throw my phone in the trash. I like to play a game, how long until I get pissed off? And it's usually like three swipes. Remember that? What was that? How many licks does it take to get to the center? Yeah, I play that with Twitter until I just get pissed off at the world and I turn it off. Do same thing. I'm mad at everybody except everybody in this room. I do have a Threads though. But yeah, I think that's about, read, what else? Music, I'm learning some new pieces. I'm doing a concert this year also. Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Where will your concert be?
Los Angeles. So I did 4 shows in LA already. Then I did a show in Indianapolis. I went to IU School of Music, so I did 2 nights there. And then I was gonna do a show this month, but I'm in prep for my movie, so I just don't have enough time. But yeah, probably back in Los Angeles. And then St. Louis, too. I gotta do one in St. Louis, where I'm from.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned that you like Stephen King. Do you have a favorite Stephen King novel? And if you could see any Stephen King story adapted into a movie, that what would you like it to be, and who would you like to play?
I love The Dark Tower. I would redo that movie as much as I love Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. I just don't think they should have swapped those roles. It just didn't make sense for the book. I'd like to do It and be the clown, but not have makeup on. I want to do It and it's just Black History Month and it's just me, and I go through the South and I just knock on doors and go boo for 28 days. One shot. Yeah. It's 29 this month? 29 days. Oh, even better. That 29th one, I'll do the last one with my shirt off. Yeah. And then I'll say, no, let me stop. Okay, that's it. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. I'm just curious. So, one, what do you think makes a good comedy? And two, how do you feel about the fact that the show only started getting critical acclaim, from what I can tell, after it became more serious? What do you think that says about how critics view comedies?
I think the term critic is a funny word. This really does fascinate me. So, what's your cosplay, by the way?
It's as if the Cheshire Cat was in Cats the Musical.
This is great. Did you make this?
I did, yeah.
Did you do your makeup?
Yep.
Applause for that.
Thank you.
Isn't it fascinating that you could spend that time and effort and energy, and then someone else could just go, I have nothing invested in it. I didn't take any time. I just saw it, and because I was in my mood, I'm like, not that I don't like critics, but critic is a weird word, right? It's just a weird word to me. Timing. Here's a really dumb dad joke. What's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke? Timing. Get it? Because timing is the... I think what makes a good comedy is realness, right? When you try to be funny, it's not funny. It's harder to be funny. But when something's real, it's funny. And sometimes tragic, sad things are funny, you know? Like I slapped my friend in the face one day and I was laughing. That's not true.
It's real.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know. But I think timing and just authenticity, even if it's some slapstick, crazy, whatever, and it's all subjective too. Some stuff that I find funny, a lot of people in this room didn't. But some stuff I find funny, other people do. So, but as far as people liking the show after, you know, it got serious, sometimes people are just late, you know? A lot of people probably want to holler at y'all now, but it's too late. You had your chance in high school, Amanda. You missed out.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, I do like your outfit.
Thank you.
It's great.
Good afternoon. So one of the hallmarks of sci-fi is that it forces us to look at our society through a different lens.
Yeah.
And the Orville's been really good at doing that, especially this last season. What are some of the things that you would like to see going forward that they address about our society as it exists?
Oh, well, I think we fixed everything. Everything's great, right? I have a clothing line and a brand that's called Do Better University. And I just want people to do better. Long time ago, not to get too deep, but I'll keep it a little bit medium, Trayvon Martin was murdered. And I was on Twitter at that time, and this is what I was writing on the Cleveland show, and I was spending a lot of time in these arguments with the most hateful, racist people ever. And I did it to see if I could find any common ground with them. And what I found was all of these people would say the most ridiculous stuff, and then I would send them a message and say, hey, can we just have a conversation? No matter what you think or about what happened, there's a kid that was shot by a grown person. We can agree on that, right? What I found is most people, once you got through screaming, would come to some realization that, oh, this is a thing. That was bad. So what I learned in that is I can't get people to do what I want them to do, but I can encourage people to do better. Everybody can do a little bit better. So as far as specific topics that we could explore because we're so flawed as humans. Fortunately, we have a lot to deal with. And whatever we're dealing with now will be old news 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I think a lot of the stuff that we're up in arms about, we will laugh at down the line, which I appreciate. You know, like the idea that black people can't vote, women can't choose what they want to do. Like, these are stupid ideas. These are duh ideas. So, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll figure things out and then we'll just reset to, I don't know, something.
Thank you.
I don't know if that answered your question or not, but do better is my point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. I hate to put you on a spot and ask you to speak on behalf of a person who's not here.
Yeah.
I look at Seth's career and I see a man and hear a man who is so funny, but also just very smart in so many different facets of topical issues and political issues in media. And I wanted to piggyback on, her question about critics and comedy versus serious. As his friend, has Seth ever thought, I'm gonna go full on serious. I'm gonna produce and direct and write dramas that are not sci-fi related or, that are full on, just going deep into the deep end, into this sort of Scorsese territory, I guess. And or has he just been like, I'm going to stick in this sort of lighter sort of subject matter? I think he has the capacity to do more,
Sure.
but, and also if he were to ever go full dramatic,
Yeah.
would you want to be a part of that?
Well, I'll answer that one. That's an easy. The second question is absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a handful of people in LA that what they touch not only gets made, but gets made the right way, right? He's one of them. There are not a lot of people. I know a lot of really talented, creative, amazing people, and they have a tough time. So Seth is special in that way. As far as him being really smart, would he dive into drama? I said this on an interview the other day. A few years back, I went to his house. We were going somewhere, and I walked in his house, and he had the new Jim Crow book sitting in his foyer. And he was going to grab his jacket or something. And I remember asking him, and he's a well-read person. His library is massive. And I said, oh, this is an interesting book. And he says, oh, yeah, I'm writing Ted 2. And I go, okay, how does that translate? And he said, oh, Ted 2 is a civil rights movie. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, you're actually right. Like, that whole movie is Ted fighting to be seen as a full person. I say that to say, he is so smart that he does think about that kind of stuff, but also, and this isn't speaking for him, I'm gonna switch it a little bit, but we do live in such a polarized world that people are now eating their allies a little bit. So it's like, I can't speak for you, you can't speak for me, you don't know my struggle, I don't know your struggle, you can't say that for me on behalf, and somehow we've become very sectionalized versus, I just want to amplify a story. So I think for a straight white billionaire to really dive into some stuff, he'd have to do it in a way that would be edible for people. And this is completely conjecture, I don't know. He might just want to keep doing exactly what he's doing, but I know he supports a lot of stuff silently that people would never know about. Yeah, he cares. Yeah.
Listen, if Quentin Tarantino can get away with some of the stuff he got away with, I think Seth might be a little bit more nuanced. I'm being very honest.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. I will bring that. Hold on, let me write this note down real quick.
My name's Carmen. Make sure to put me in there.
Yeah, I got you, Carmen. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm afraid that's all the time we have with Jay this afternoon. Hope everyone's gotten a chance to stop by his table. If not, make sure you make time to do that. Speak to him up close.
Yeah, come by, say hi.
Meantime, how about a big applause for Jay to thank him? And, come on, louder, as if he asked a question. Come on.
Hey, this is Jay Lee from the Orville, and you are watching Fandom Spotlite, which is out of this world. You should watch more and have fun and follow your fandom.